exactly 1 week before the Valencia Marathon, I went to a Christmas party and went absolutely shit-faced.
Wow.
Closed the party and went home. Got picked up by my parents like a true teenager. And
Are you running a marathon? Oh my god, I could never run a marathon. You sure about that? My god, a marathon? That's like 42 kilometers, 26 miles. I don't understand those people.
That used to be me. But not anymore. Welcome to the Marathon Podcast. My name is Christian Warwick, aka Warwick Runs on Instagram, YouTube, and the Marathon Podcast is on YouTube. Really happy to have you here. I hope you are having the best holidays. And today I'm here to give you another little holiday present, I guess. I'm having Martin with me, who is the Danish Marathon Champion, half marathon champion, 10K champion, and he just ran a 2:13 in Valencia. You might know him as Mio the Machine on Instagram. I had such a cool conversation with him. Two Scandinavians talking running. Can't go wrong. And I just feel like Martin is a friend right now. Like, it's so cool when I talk to people like him, and after the chat I just want to hang out. And I think that some of the things he talked about, obviously very interesting about his training, but also he was super drunk like 1 week before Valencia and he still ran a 2:13. How crazy is that? Excited for you guys to hear that conversation. I think that you'll learn a lot and be very inspired. Also curious to see where Martin will end up going forward. I know that he's planning on running Boston, so excited to see how that goes. As for me, or right now, I'm in London, celebrating Christmas here. It's actually Christmas Eve on the day of recording this, which is actually Christmas for us Norwegians. But we're celebrating the English and American way, so we're celebrating on the 25th. I just had a run where I did 15 by 400, a new workout that John prescribed to me. I'm sure it's not new to most of you guys. I know a lot of marathon runners do this, or these workouts, but for me, it's a new one, and I'm excited to see how that will be and what that will result in. For me right now, it worked really well. I had like 82 to 86 seconds on them. Started a little bit too hard, but ended up running faster at the end. So all in all, just a good workout, a great way to kick off the holidays and the Christmas. Really happy about that. And that's kind of it. So without wasting more of your time, let's just dive into the conversation with Martin. Enjoy. Two Scandinavians talking about running. Can't go wrong.
no, not a chance. And thanks for having me here, Christian.
Thank you. First of all, congrats on your great PR in Valencia. How was the race?
It was pretty good. Some nice conditions, a little bit to the warmer side and a bit windy, but nothing us Scandinavian can't handle, I guess. So it's a really good race. Took some good decisions out there and stuck to my plan, not getting stressed.
Yeah, 2:13. That's fast.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, before we dive into all your running, because I'm very fascinated with your running and also how much of an all-rounder you are, because I know that you are the Danish champion and the 10K and the marathon. Like, how did your running journey start?
I've always been running a little bit, but never done it as like my primary sport. I used to play football or soccer, if you have any American listeners. And I did that until I was maybe 18, 19, 20 years old. And I did a bit of running on the side, but mostly like 5, 10K. Didn't run with a watch, just doing a bit of alternative training to my football, and did some gym sessions and stuff. And I moved to Copenhagen in 2016. Yeah, and then I briefly joined Inbro, like it's a running society, like an open run club where you can just come to some training sessions and you'll have a beer afterwards. It's a really nice place to start if you want to get into running. So I did that also to get some new friends and know people around. And then I think I moved to Copenhagen just before the Copenhagen half in 16 and ran that in 1:18, I think. That was my fastest time back then. And then in 17, I think I ran 1:09.
Wow.
1 year later. Yeah, and I started running like quite frequently in February. And I set a goal that I wanted to run 100K training week, just one random week in 2017, and I already did it in February. I was supposed to do it maybe later on, but I probably I could handle the training load apparently, and then I did a half marathon. I ran 1:15, 1:13, and then I ran the Copenhagen Marathon in May in 17. I ran 2:30 in my first like real marathon. And I was second best staying and top 15 for the Copenhagen Marathon. And then in in September that year, I ran the 109. I was under 23 Danish champ there. I was still running for Embro, and then I went down to Frankfurt in October and ran 2:28, I think, that same year. That was my like first year of running. And I also did a marathon when I was 17. So this was in 2017. So back in that must have been maybe 2013. Yeah. I did my first marathon when I was 17, just as a thing to do, like a goal. I just wanted to do something before I was 18. I was like, oh, let's do a marathon. And then I did 2:52.
Wow.
Yeah, in an old Usain Bolt t-shirt and a really shitty pairs of Asics Cayano. So, yeah, I made it through, and I was quite happy back then. But then it was in high school, so I quickly went back to partying and then doing gym session and playing football again, and just going to Roskilde Festival, and yeah. So I picked up running many years later when I moved to Copenhagen. But yeah, sometimes I get a bit irritated from not continuing back then, because
Yeah.
where could I have been now if I just continued my training back then?
So does that mean that you were around 21 when you started running again, like or 2021 in 2016?
Yeah, probably 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
2022. Yeah. Yeah,
I've learned
21.
that I shouldn't do public math on here. So how old are you now?
In October, I turned 30. So
Okay.
yeah, during
Congrats.
the heavy.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Perfect marathon age though.
Yes, I have some good years in me then.
Yeah.
Still for the upcoming years.
Okay, so we have established that you kind of came to running late, and now you're a 2:13 marathoner. But who's Martin outside of running? What is it that you do on a daily basis?
So I graduated last summer as a dairy engineer from the University of Copenhagen. But you probably don't know this, but there's not a lot of dairy plants on Sealand. That's where I'm based. So most people, they work in a big pharma company or some other food applications um, factories or business. So yeah, so I work in a big pharma company as a process engineer. I've been doing that since February last year. Oh, this year, sorry. And I'm working full time, so it's between 37 and 40 hours, and you meet again early, and yeah, it's just it's hard work every day, and I'm pretty tired, especially these days where it's really dark outside. So you leave at
Yeah.
around before 7 in the morning, and it's dark, and when you're off, it's also dark, so you don't get any sunlight or fresh air within a day. So it's been tough the last month or two leading up to Valencia, because I was training in shitty weather every morning and every evening, and it was completely dark both times. So yeah, so I'm glad I made it all the way, and punch in a nice time in Valencia, make it
Yeah.
all worth it.
Yeah, I can feel you. It's the same here. Like I'm obviously even further north, and I'm at my parents right now, and so
So
I
where do you
think
live? Where are you based?
I'm based in Oslo,
Okay.
and yeah, and then I'm now up in Trondheim, and so I think they have like 4 hours now of daylight. It's like 10:30 to 2:30ish, and
it sounds like a depression right there.
yeah, and it's really hard because I want to go when I go out running. I want to have daylight just to get some like I like to pretend that I'll get some vitamin D by doing that. I don't think I am, honestly, like especially not now because the
Probably
weather is
not.
just awful. But it still makes me feel a bit better, like going out when it's daylight. But it's just such a short window. So if
At
one
least
of
get
my
some fresh air though.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So no, it's I totally understand what you mean, and I think that it's harder for us sometimes than other countries and other people to kind of get through those marathon blocks, especially if you have a spring marathon where you have to do a lot of it in December, January, February, or like
Yeah.
you said with Valencia as well.
That's why I don't do Sevilla, because I don't. Yeah, I could see myself continuing if I didn't have like a full-time job, because then I could just sleep to around 8 and then run from 9 when it's it's daylight. But if I had to continue all this all the way to Sevilla, I don't think I could probably do it, but it would be a bit more tough. So I think Valencia is pretty good, because then you can chill the rest of December and then slowly start up your training again from January, and then it's get lighter and lighter from every day. You have more daylight, but yeah, it's tough.
One thing, yeah, it is tough, but I also like I feel like what you were saying now, like it sounds like a depression right there, like in Trondheim where I am, and I totally understand what you mean. And you could potentially say that about the Scandinavian countries of like having those dark periods throughout the year. And this is going to be a very cliche transition, but you're kind of a ray of sunlight when you are running, because if people head over to your profile on Instagram, it's kind of hard to not be happy looking at those photos. And I don't think there are a lot of 2:13 marathoners who are posting the way you did to some of the cameras. Can you say something about like, I guess like almost your personality? Because it seems like you have a lot of energy and it's not just about the running. It seems like there's so much more in there. And at least for me following you on Instagram, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for noticing, and thanks for giving me the credit. It's really nice to hear. Yeah, I'm just trying to be myself every day and be happy and meet people with a smile and take it day by day. So yeah, that's what it's all about for me. Yeah, I have some colleagues joining in. What's up?
Tell them I say hi.
Oh, thanks. We are live. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just really important for me that I'm the same person when I'm running, when I'm going to work, when I'm off work and seeing my friends. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, I don't want to be stressed about it, because in the end, it's just about having fun and enjoy what you do, both within your job and outside your job. And that could be your running, that could be your job, or it could be your real job. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy myself and have fun with what I do, and don't get too stressed, because I see a lot of people who are maybe at a certain level in running, and they stress too much about all sort of stuff surrounding running and around running. I'm like, you just need to chill and enjoy the ride, and put in the training and be proud of what you achieve, both in your training, but also if you achieve a really nice result, you should enjoy it, and celebrate it if you do a PB or you just make it to the finish line. So yeah, going back to that shot, I was thinking about doing that kind of pose when I went to the finish line, but then I saw Tune, which is a Tune. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a really nice photographer, and he took the picture, the money shot. And I was like, oh, it's still something cool. I didn't know it would turn out that great. It's a really great shot, to be
It is
honest.
good. Yeah, no, it's great.
So, and when I went to the finish line, I was trying to do a sub 13, so I had to run like maybe around 60 on the last 400. So I was like, see if I can do that. Well, then I tried, and then I completely crashed, and I had these kind of hiccups. I had trouble breathing, so I started puking when I went over the finish line. So I was really glad I did that pose earlier, because I wouldn't be able to do anything at the last 200 meters. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked about it, and I hope I can inspire people to have more fun. Also, outside of running, I if you follow along, you can see I go to a lot of concerts. I'm having a lot of fun with my friends and colleagues. Exactly 1 week before the Valencia Marathon, I went to a Christmas party and went absolutely shit faced.
Wow.
Closed the party and went home. Got picked up by my parents like a true teenager, and yeah, it was really great. But you also need to remember there's a life after running, so you should invest in your friends and colleagues now. Uh, Also because they're gonna be there after running, and if you've been some kind of lonely weirdo only keeping to yourself, I don't know. I just want to invest in my life after running as well. So that's why I'm trying to have fun on the on the side hand of running. Um, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, but that's something
I
that
do whatever I want. Like, I do whatever else I wanted if I didn't run that much, and that makes also running more enjoyable for me, because it's just a part of my lifestyle and my image. So I don't see it conflicting with my life. Sometimes it does, but it's not taking all the focus away from what else I want to do. So it's always about having balance, or keeping the balance between some. Close to Valencia, you have balanced a bit more in this direction against Valencia, where I want to do the right thing, and take the right what's it called, like choices and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did
Sorry, I
you
got a
say
bit long.
that? No, but you're good. Did you say that you were super drunk like just 7 days before Valencia? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but just reminding you that you can get 20% off an annual subscription with Strava by using the code Christian. Look down in the show notes if you don't know how to spell that. And hopefully you can use that heading into the new year. Back to the episode.
Yeah, we started at 12 a.m. and I drank all the way to midnight. Yeah, a lot of snaps, a lot of beers, cocktails.
Oh,
I know. I
that's
shouldn't have done that, but
oh well. It seemed like you ran well still. Maybe you could have done a sub 2:13 though. Who knows? Or maybe
probably
not.
you can wonder, and then you can you can be mad about it, but I don't want to think about ifs. I think I had a great time, and maybe it made me relax more going into the race, and it was a Friday, and then on Sunday I did a really good session. Actually, I ran one of my best sessions leading up to the race. It was probably not my sexiest session, but it was like a really like steady long run where I did a little pickup in the end, and then did another steady block. And I was like, I felt pretty great today. I probably didn't do like 30K, and didn't do more than 5K around marathon pace, but the feeling was really good. I had a lot of energy. I had a lot of surplus energy, so it felt pretty easy. I was like, okay, maybe Valencia is gonna be good next weekend.
Nice.
So yeah.
Will you just give us a quick little recap of how it was to get to Valencia with the temperature, but also the race itself?
Yeah, of course. I could do a little debrief. As much as I love our seasons in Scandinavia, it's a bit different coming from really dark and cold, windy weather with around 5 degrees down to Valencia, where you think we started in 13 degrees and ended in 16. It's full sun and stuff. So I think I'm pretty glad I did some sauna sessions after my runs back home in Denmark, because I think that helped me a lot. Just doing 1 hour, 2 hours a week in the sauna, and then I think that helped me a bit in the heats. But yeah, my to give a brief debrief, I went out with the women's in Valencia, and then just tried to stick with that plan. That was my safe plan, I would say, but it seemed to be a bit too safe after the first 5K. I think we ran uh, a bit slower than I wanted to. I wanted to hit something between 15:50, 15:55 on my first 5K, and I think we ran 16:25. So I got a little bit stressed, and I tried to push the pace by going in the front to pull the women's paces, but they didn't want to move at all. So I was like, should I chase the other groups and go with the men's? But then I thought to myself, nah, you have done that the last 4 years, and you have been failing doing that because nobody wants to pull the group. So sometimes you end up doing it, and you lose a lot of energy and use a lot of energy doing this. So I just fall in and try to stick with the ladies, and then they actually pick the pace up from the next 5K, and then between I think it was 9 and 10K, they tried to get rid of the third woman, Beriso, which was actually the fastest one. Where I think she had run 2:14 early on. So they tried to get rid of her by running a 30K from 9 to 10. So we packed the whole group. I think we were with Beriso and her pace, and then with all the men. I think we dropped 20 people. I was only one going with the women's, and I stayed with them all the way to 35, I think. And I think we picked up 4 of those groups I was thinking of going with. So I was really glad I stuck with that decision. And yeah, I got a lot of energy in and water. So I trained a lot through my period of training here leading up to Valencia. So I had no stomach issues this time. That's been my Achilles or my hurdle the last couple of marathons, that I'm having
Yeah.
stomach issues and have to slow down or go for a toilet visit or stuff. So thank God there's something called Imodium that has really helped me this time
Did that
to
work
clock the
well
system.
for you?
It worked pretty well,
Yeah.
and I really loaded my system with a lot of what's it called? I don't know. I loaded with a lot of Nomeo, and
Mm-hmm.
I also did some bicarb before the race, and some beetroot concentrated stuff that's called the Stamox, and a lot of sugar before the race. I was really loading the system, and then I was like, I probably need to clock it as well, because otherwise I'll not be able to make it to the finish line. So yeah, so I tried Imodium for the first time. I was really that's my probably my word of advice to anybody
Awesome.
having stomach issues. Yeah,
That's
try
good to
Imodium.
know.
Yeah, it put me in a position where I actually was able to push and almost run even splits. I think it
Yeah.
was maybe 8 or 10 seconds between my first half and my second half marathon. So I was pretty stoked to finally be able to put a good race together and finish strong.
But when did you leave that group? Because obviously, like, your time compared to the women's field or the winner, you were a bit faster,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
where did you leave
that's
them?
around. I think it was around 40 seconds faster than the fastest woman, I think.
Yeah.
I think I left them at 35, 36 perhaps, and then continued with another group of some British guys. And yeah, I stuck with them. And then I remember this guy, I think it was called Andrew Five. He was asking me, how are you feeling? I just said, feeling great. Come on, lad, let's go. And then I thought he went with me, and then I looked behind, and then there were 50 meters behind me at some point. I was like, oh shit, I'm rolling. And then I maybe was rolling a bit too fast, because it was like 500 meters really fast, and I had to slow down again all the time because I was really at my limit.
Yeah.
Uh, but I had a really good feeling within my body, and also I had that, that really, I would call it a grind set. Like my head was
Nice.
really
Cool.
into it.
Grind set. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The grind set was really on, and I could see the finish line, and I could smell the beer that I smuggled inside the elite field. It was ready for me when I got in, so I was like,
Nice.
let's get in and get that beer.
Awesome. A true Danish. A true Dane.
Yeah, true Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have a cold beer ready.
Yeah. But you were saying, like, your image and the way you live, I feel like, at least for me, you kind of stand out in the field when you're running, right? Like, I think that your style is great. Like, everything from your haircut, your sunglasses, to your tattoos. It's like do you get a lot of attention when you show up on race day? Because it's not just that you have like that image, but you're also running fast, right? Like I had a situation this spring where I showed up in like full Dandic gear and Oakley, just like I looked probably super professional, and
Yeah.
I just failed completely at that race. And I also had some guy filming me, right? And it was just so embarrassing. But I feel like you are nailing it where you look cool, you have that look, and you are running fast. So when you are like at the race, do you get a lot of attention?
Yeah, I probably do. I guess I remember this time I did when I did my previous PB of 2:14:35 in Hanover in 2022. In 2020, yeah, 22, yeah. Um, I was standing in this elite field tent, and we were getting like we got undressed and picked up our race singlets and stuff from our bags, and I got changed, and all the Kenyans and Ethiopians, they were looking my way. I was like, kind of, what is this guy doing here? Look at that fat Danish guy. Or like, they started chatting, and I think they made a bit of fun with me. And I remember taking them one by one down through the ways because it was like a snowstorm. It was minus 10 degrees and between 10 and 15 meters per second wind. It was really, really tough conditions, but I was used to it from the Danish winter. But all the Kenyans, they just completely crashed. So I think I took down maybe 8 or 7 Kenyans the last 4Ks. So I was actually third in the race.
Wow,
Yeah, that was one of my best performances, I think. But yeah, it was really fun. I was like, who's laughing now?
I love
But
that.
yeah, it was a really great day. So yeah, I get a lot of attentions from that, but also when I did the Sydney Marathon back in the end of August, there was a lot of guys on the routes complimenting my Puma kit, the purple colors, and probably also because I look a bit more uh, different from the rest of the elite field. And even more when I come by myself. I was running alone from 13K all the way to the finish line. So I think it was really nice to get a lot of cheer because I try my best to give something back when I'm out running and clapping back or waving and stuff to cheer back again at them for being there and helping me all the way to the finish line. So I think it's also important if you have the surplus or some some extra energy, you can give something back because then you will receive more, especially if you come the same way back again and they just saw you. They will cheer even more for you and they will help you to get even faster to the finish line if you're feeling really worn out. So yeah, I try to do my best to give a little bit back because I know I gain a lot of energy from it. Yeah.
No, exactly. I totally agree with you. I also feel like when people are showing up, right? Like they're showing up to watch you race or to cheer you on. It's nice, like you said, to give something back because it's obviously it's your race to perform at, but it's also they're there to have fun. And if you didn't give anything back, it probably wouldn't have been as fun for them either.
Yeah. But I know the thing you said in the beginning was showing up, look a bit different, or you have like your best kit on and you have some really nice sunglasses. You invest a lot of time and money and bring in the probably the coolest kit to the starting line, and then you completely crash and you fail, and it looks even more embarrassing, And
Yeah.
but I think it's a risk worth taking because eventually that's just who you want to be on the day. And to draw a parallel, I also did the cross country Nordic Championships in a bucket hat because I wanted to make a little bit of an upset because I was a bit angry with the federations for not giving me the right kit for the race. So I actually had to borrow some clothes from the others. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to do this in a bucket hat because I'm probably not going to be selected anymore anyway. So I
I
was
think that's
like,
great.
yeah. And then I just, took it all the way to the finish line. And I was probably second last in the Nordic Champs field out of 15 or 16. I can't remember. I was like, I'm just here having fun. Cross is not even my discipline, but I think it's fun to run the cross country. I probably should have done it because my Achilles and my ankles were a bit sore for maybe 2 or 3 weeks just for doing the two cross country races.
Yeah.
But again, I did it because I think it's fun, and even more when I have a full-time job, it needs to be fun and enjoyable for
Hmm.
me. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But also know from earlier on that I need to have something else to do when I'm not running. I had a period of maybe a half year where I had some gap between my classes at uni, where the only thing I had to do actually was just running. And I was not good at that. I overdid it, and I couldn't think of anything else than running. So when I did the morning run, I was like, oh, when I have to run again, then I was pretty bad at doing nothing. So I mean, again, it's about balance and taking your mind off running when you're not running, and that's good to have a job or a hobby or anything that really drives you.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was my next question. I know you did mention Puma, and like on your Instagram, it looks like you're a Puma sponsored athlete. Is there a sponsorship there? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I've been with Puma since 2022. So they signed me after I did my 214 and was um, eventually selected for the national team going into the European Championships on the marathon in Munich. And then they signed me some months after that. And then I've been with the Puma since 2022 until now. And I haven't really I don't know if I can say it here, but they have signed me for another 3 years, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Congrats. Wow.
It's out. It's out.
Yeah, it's out now.
um, so yeah, I'm really happy about that. I didn't think or knew that they wanted to do that, but they have been quite happy and satisfied with the collab we have been having for the last 3 years. So yeah, I'm really fortunate, and I really appreciate that they have my back still. So that also gives me some kind of reason, and yeah, it's really nice that they have my back. So I just want to continue. That it's like in Danish we say can you say it in English, like a shoulder pad, like we say
Oh yeah, I
skulderklap.
know.
This means
It's
like
kind.
a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can
So
say that, I
it's really
think.
nice they're recognizing
Yeah.
the work I do within running still, and I think they think I'm a good ambassador. So I think it's nice they cherish that.
It seems like you are the perfect match with Puma, especially with the way they've done like this year, like looking at their branding and the way they've been advertising everything. I feel like they have this serious but not serious approach to it, if that makes sense. So it really aligns with what you were saying earlier about having fun. It's like, yes, you want to run fast, but there's also something like a life and everything else outside of running. And I think that, at least in my eyes, it seems to make you guys a perfect match.
Yeah, also I'm really glad I signed with them back then because I maybe took a chance because they were not as huge as they are
Mm-hmm.
now within distance running. They really evolved a lot and had taken a big market share and doing a lot of great products now, especially in terms of the shoes, but also the clothes and just the brand in general. They have signed some really good runners just before and after they signed me. So I'm just really happy to be part of that family, and yeah, big gratitude towards them for keeping me
Yeah,
within the ranks.
yeah. But does that mean that, because like you have a contract with them, and say you start running even faster, there's always the potential of having a deal that makes you a full-time runner. But then you did mention that you think that it's smart to have something on the side.
Yeah, I
What
think
are your ambitions for that? Would you want to go full-time as a runner?
I think you when you start working full time, it will not be the same kind of salary. It's like going back to being a student again,
No,
uh, and I don't think I want that because
no.
it's nice to have some kind of income so you can start up a grown-up life, buying a house or a car, whatever you need in your life to succeed long term. You, I think it's pretty difficult to live from it full time when we talk about running. Yeah, I mean, you could, but it will not be like a glorious lifestyle. And as I just said, I enjoy life as well. So I go traveling, also outside running. I enjoy going to the restaurants. I enjoy going out, and yeah, I mean, I think I would have to sacrifice a lot for doing so, and it's also pros and cons within that because I don't think I could probably run some pretty decent times, maybe 2:10, but like for me, I started a bit late, and I haven't done some really fast times at the short distance. I'm at 1:04 and just a sub 30 runner, and I haven't been under 14 on the 5K. So I am lacking a bit of that top speed or just below top speed on the shorter distances. So I don't think I could evolve much more. And it's also
Yeah.
about knowing your limits. So that's what I keep in mind when people start mentioning what you just did, like a full-time running career. And I probably did that, touch it a little bit when I was a student. And I don't think I got better, but it's also putting in a lot of base. So it probably takes 7 to 10 years to build up that really good volume and base so you can actually succeed later on. But if you haven't
Yeah.
done the really fast times on the short distances, I mean, you have a house and you can increase the volume, but you need the roof to be a bit bigger or taller, and I don't really have that roof, I think.
Yeah.
So I more or less know my limits and what's achievable for me, but I still dream about running really fast times. I dream about setting Danish record, and yeah, I think it's good to have the dreams to just lead you on as a motivation. But I'm also a realistic guy, so I know what I can do. But I've thought about maybe doing. I don't think there's any colleagues left on the office, but I thought about maybe doing half-time
Yeah.
or part-time because I need something else to do when I'm not running. So if I could, like, the dream would be to work from 10 to 3 or 4 every
Exactly.
day, and then you could do both your runs in daylight, and if I could have every second day at home or working from home, that would be the dream. But yeah, right now I'm also enjoying being part of a big company and a corporate firm, and yeah, doing a lot of stuff that actually makes sense to a lot of people. Be part of something bigger.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's yeah, I didn't know I was going to be running that much here in this year, and not as fast. I mean, if we went back to January, I was traveling around in South America for a whole month back in January, and I was running maybe some weeks I didn't run at all, and then some weeks I ran maybe 5 times when I was gone. If I was in a flat place, I went around on 5 different countries within 4 weeks, and yeah, got home Sunday night and started my first day at the work Monday morning, and yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be running fast times anymore. I just wanted to keep myself in some sort of shape, and then I started running a little bit again and did some jogging, nice and easy. Did some intervals, some tempo sessions, and then suddenly a long run, and then I just had a feeling that I was not done yet, and then I just signed up for some races in February and in March, and I ran basically the same times I'm used to do. I was a bit
Yeah.
surprised by that. Did a sub 15 5K on the road, and I think I ran 5 out of 6 races I competed in. Not big races, but like it was still kind of victory for me to still be able to have a full-time job and have fun on the side, and also beat some of the guys who put a lot of energy and invest in running still. So, and then I did, some pretty decent times. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. Maybe I should continue. And then, I was like, maybe I should go a bit more all in. So I did a camp, an altitude camp in Font Romeu in
Mm-hmm.
summer. And got home and ran the Danish champs on the 10,000 meter and became Danish champion there. Uh,
Was that a
and that
surprise
was
to you?
uh, not really because nobody really what's it called prioritized it. So
Okay.
we were only like me and another guy, and he just did the Copenhagen Marathon 1 week prior or two, so he was a bit sore still. So it's just me and him, and then I just outkicked him on the last 300 meters, I think. And yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was not the it was not the most difficult Danish championship for me to win, but you
It's
still have to
still a
do the job.
title, though.
Yeah, it is. So I was pretty happy about that. And then 1 week after, I ran the Danish championships on the half marathon, and that was a bit of a surprise to me that I actually was able to win the championship down there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a pretty tough course, and it was in June, so it was pretty hot. I think 22 or 23 degrees, I think, and really hilly. It was a big field. There were some guys who were missing out because they were injured or doing another race, but I still think it's a pretty difficult half marathon to win, both in terms of the field, but also the course and the conditions. But I broke away after maybe 5K, and then they caught up with me around 18, and then we just started to outkick each other for the next 3Ks. Just somebody tried to overtake the other, and then yeah, it was a mayhem the last 3Ks, and then I pulled away with 1K to go, and then secured the goods and broke the tape as the first guy. So yeah, that was really nice. I've been waiting for that for a long time. That felt like when I respect. That's probably the most satisfying uh, Danish championship I've been able to secure. I only have 3, but that was probably the best one where I really had to work for it.
Yeah. Because looking back to 2016-17 when you started running, what do you think that like 2016 Martin would think if you told him that you would be at this level now?
I mean, I didn't have that much knowledge back
But
then,
like being a
so
Danish champion, like it's a big deal.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice to have that title to your name. So I think he would be quite surprised if I went back in time to tell him that. But I've always been a dreamer. I always believe in myself, and I don't think anything is not possible. I think it's achievable if you put your mind into it and do some proper training and also do a bit of testing to see where you are and where you're at in training. So, but yeah, I dare to dream as well. So I mean, why not me?
Exactly. No, I love that attitude. I think it's great, and I'm sure that's also a big part of why you've been able to succeed the way you have, right? And I'm curious to hear more about like the specifics of your training, because now we know that you've been doing this for like seven years ish, I guess, and or a little bit more, even like maybe 9 years. But
Yeah.
how how did you approach running when you first started out in terms of your training and in terms of everything that you know, like you were saying that you wanted 100K weeks, but how did it develop from there?
I mean, I just joined the Enbro guys, and I think I just asked who's the fastest guys because I'm gonna run with you, and I did that the first day I showed up. and that was just my approach in the beginning. I just threw myself in heads first, and apparently I have a pretty strong mind and body. So I remember my old coach used to call me the tank because I could really withstand a lot of pain and a lot of volume and also a lot of intensity. So that's my luck that I'm built that way, and I think also from football, I never had a real injury. Not even when I played football, but not now really. I've had some issues with uh, uh, my arch, my plantar fasciitis. I had some issues with that for some months, but that's pretty much it. So I can do a lot of training without getting really injured. Um, that's my luck. I think I can really absorb a lot of training, so I can load my body like proper. Um, so that's been my key or my gift, would some maybe say. So I just ran with the fastest guys and tried to hang on with them, and then at some point I was getting probably a bit better than them, maybe due to injuries or something. But then, yeah, I mean, I have been a bit talented. Maybe that's my talent that I don't break that easily. But it's mostly hard work for me. I'm not gifted or talented in like my running style or technique, or I don't look really pretty when I'm running. Maybe when I'm running really fast, but not even so. Then, I mean, I could just sustain a lot of running and training, and I think I love to be in the state of mind where you just flow, and I could also I kind of like the pain and the true grit when you're really pushing in the tough miles. So yeah, I I try to enjoy the pain. I think that's kind of my gift, and I'm not afraid of losing or yeah, or look stupid or anything. Yeah, I'm just trying my best and see where it takes me.
It's taken you
I
pretty
can't
far
remember.
so
Yeah,
far.
thanks, thanks. I can't remember what your question were, but
No, you
I was just
answered it.
chatting.
I was just curious about your training, and my next question was to like, what does a normal training week look like for you? If we say we take Valencia now, the block that you just had before
Yeah,
Valencia, what
if I
does
like
it
take it.
look like in terms of mileage, but also the workouts and your easy runs
Mm,
and intensity?
I mean, for taking it back, I didn't have a coach when I was in Bro, and then I had a coach in that I joined a new club. I joined an actual club that lasted for 2 years, and now I'm in a club in Copenhagen called Sparta. Um, I actually don't have a coach at the moment, so I've been coaching myself since maybe October last year. So, um, yeah, I think that has been the best solution for me because with a full-time job and I'm not close to my club and my training mates back home in Copenhagen. So when I'm out here in the countryside working, it's just easier for me not to have a coach or some guys I need to meet up with because it can really vary when I'm off work or when I want to go for a run. Um, so my training philosophy is just looking back at what I did, and I mean, I have some easy days. That's typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then I do some. This specific period has been a lot of threshold work around half marathon, marathon pace, last 2 or 3 months, leading up to Valencia. So Tuesday and Thursday I've been on the treadmill because when I'm off work at the evenings, it's a bit dark, it's cold, and I'm by myself, and I don't want to put on 2 pairs of tights and jackets and lights and run around alone out here on the countryside. So I've done that a couple of times. It's not the f- it's not, that's not the fun way to do your training, I think. So it kind of builds character, but I think it's
Mm-hmm.
more fun to go on the treadmill where it's warm and you have your liquids, you have your energy, and you put on some music, and you can also make sure you lactate.
Uh-huh.
So I've been doing that a lot the last 2 or 3 months leading up to the race to know where I was at and to be sure that I didn't overdid it. And it's also a nice measure to have when you're when you feel really tired and having a bad day, and you had oh, I want to do 20K tempo today, and then after 4 you feel like shit, and then you can step out after 10 and then measure your lactate, and it's like, oh, my heart rate is high, my lactate is high. I should probably don't do the last 20K of tempo or 10,
Yeah.
10K of tempo. So it's a nice measure to have, besides your gut feeling and your heart rate. So yeah, and then on Saturday I do my long run with the tempo typically, and then Sunday I would do maybe 2 easy medium runs around 15K, or maybe do 1 long run. So I'll do maybe two pretty long sessions both Saturday and Sunday, because that's where I usually have the most time.
Yeah.
Um, so
Is
some
that
of the keys.
Sunday run then, is that easier than the Saturday one if you're doing
Yeah,
that
the
like
Saturday one
yeah.
would be like a session with some including some tempo, some marathon pace blocks. Yeah, I did 3 times 7K at marathon pace, and I did 2 times 10K around marathon pace and a bit faster actually, and yeah, 4 times 5K around marathon pace with the 1K jog in between for 3 sessions, and then I try to do some long runs besides that, depending on how I feel after Saturday. Yeah, that's basically how I've been building it up this period.
Yeah.
But when I do training camps and have some days off or holiday, I could do double threshold sessions Tuesday and Thursday, and then do a tougher session on Saturday, especially during maybe the summer period, and then a long run, a progressive long run. I've also been doing this, all those doing this block, where I've been having some long sessions where we ran the long run progressively. Um, I did one with Omar and Jacob Simonsen in Aarhus, for instance. Yeah, so. And it's for
Nice.
me to train with somebody. It's just it feels like Christmas Eve
Yeah,
because
right.
I mostly do everything alone in the dark. So having your best mates or just somebody else to train with, just it's really appreciated doing these times.
Yeah, I was saying I was running with some friends this like the 2 past Sundays I've been or previous Sundays I've been doing my long runs with someone, and I told them that if I run 365 days a year, I probably have like 2 or 3 of them with someone. So just
Yeah,
just like you said, it definitely feels like Christmas when you're able to run with someone.
it truly does.
Yeah. So those you briefly touched on it, but those 2 workouts that you usually have during a normal week on Tuesday and Thursday, so that threshold work, what did those workouts usually look like?
So I would put on a lot of clothes just to take it back. I would put on a lot of clothes and then do the warm up outside, and then it'd probably be like 4K warm up with some strides, and I would go in, do some drills if I have the time, and then get changed for the treadmill. And yeah, I would log in and then I build up like, so I did if you take it some months back, I did like 6 by 1K on Tuesday, and then on Thursday I could do 3 times 2K, and then it would be around my threshold pace, so around maybe for the 1K, so I would do like 3 10s and then measure, and if it's too low, I'm not really working, I would maybe push the pace to 305. And then for the 2Ks on Thursday, I would start out in 320 and then adjust to 315. I have 1 minute break, measure for lactate in the middle and afterwards. Then I'll put on my clothes again, go out and cool down outside, and then go to the sauna. have a shower, drive home, eat, go to bed, do the same thing the next day probably. And then the week after, I would increase the volume, so maybe do 8 by 1K, and then I would do 4 by 2K. Sometimes I could change it for minutes instead. So, or like more volumes I could do. I think I did 4 by, or did I did 5? I can't remember. 4 or 5 by 10 minutes, around 320 to 310s. So that will be around a bit more than 3K for the reps. And then the other session with the 1Ks, I could adjust that to minutes or keep it at 1Ks, and then do, yeah, I think I did 12 one time. And then, yeah, increase the pace if I can see the lactate is a bit lower than expected. But still try to keep it controlled and not overdo it. So yeah, it was pretty much my treadmill threshold sessions I did during the week, and then the weekend is a bit more about volume and getting some kilometers in the watch. I do some longer tempo sessions to really build up that marathon capacity.
Yeah. And it seems like you are pretty like aware of that intensity control. That's something that you've always known about, or is that something that you learn kind of like either the hard way or from someone?
Yeah, I think I've learned the hard way, but also I had a coach called Klaus, and he was really good he could almost point at me and see what I could run in a race 1 week from now, and he could see me in training and be like, "Oh, you're running too fast." And then on the last rep, I couldn't push, and he was like, "I told you you were going too fast in the beginning." I was like, "Oh, you're right." So it's sometimes I miss having a coach, but as time goes and you've been in the game for what, 9 years now, and you know your body a bit more, and you've done a lot of work and volume throughout the time, then you get to know your limits and your capacity better. Um, so I'm trying to listen to my head and my body and what those two components are telling me. And then you can do some external measuring by heart rate, pace, lactate, and stuff. But yeah, it's yeah, I think it's really important that you listen to your body more than a number or a coach. That's probably my advice. But it's been a funny period, just not having somebody to train with or having a coach. It's just me, myself, and what I want to do on the day. I usually just take it day by day. Back in the spring, I was just doing stuff. I didn't have a plan. I just went out warming up, did some tempo, and if it felt good, I just continued running in that tempo. I was like, well, now I've done maybe 4K. It felt pretty nice in 320s. I'll just do another 4K in 320 and then push a little bit on the last one. And that was my workout. I just settled in
Wow.
within the workouts for the first half year this year. And I don't have like a set plan for the training I've been doing until now. I just know basically what I need to do in terms of load and intensity. I'll use my course watch to give me some kind of feedback in terms of my state, where I'm at condition wise, and where my shaper are at, or my shaper is at, and just use the load feature to see if I'm optimizing or if I'm overloading or just maintaining. And then just don't do any overtraining, because when you also have like, I think it's easier not to do any overtraining when you have a full-time job and also want to see your friends and family and your girlfriend and stuff. So yeah, it's quite important to have the balance and not think you have to do more than 200K to be a marathon runner. Because if I have an idea of what I have to do, like volume wise, when I ran Hanover, I was probably doing plus 200 a week. And if I thought in my head that I have to run that to be at that level again, I would just be mishandling it and myself and my legs and my body and my head in general. It will not be doing myself a favor to have that thought. yeah, you will be stressed and you'll probably also be overtrained and probably get injuries. So it's about settle in and play the cards you have dealt yourself and try to get the best outcome out of it.
Did you have more structure before Valencia? Like, I understand that it wasn't like a proper training plan, maybe, but did you have more structure than what you described having in the spring?
Yeah, I probably had a bit more structure because I know I have some key marathon sessions I want to do in the weekend, and then I just thought to myself during the weekdays, if you can manage to scrape in some sort of quality sessions, that will be fine. And then my family and my friends and colleagues has been really supportive. Also, my girlfriend has been having my back and helping me a lot through this tough period, and they take good care of me by I have a room. I stay home, a 30-year-old guy at my parents' house now because it's closer to work. So there's food on the table. They wash my clothes. I'm borrowing their
Nice.
car to work, so it's a bit more easy for me to still be doing this. And what we're doing now would only be able to do this with their help. So a big thanks to them. Yeah. So if I had to do all that I just mentioned by myself, and I also have an apartment in Copenhagen. If I stay in that one, it would be 4 hours of commute every day, so that would be impossible for me to train. So for me to stay out, being allowed to stay out here closer to work, it's probably what's keeping me going. So yeah, that's uh,
You.
that's really nice. That's possible for me.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty perfect setup for the running. And
It's like being on camp.
yeah, exactly. Constant training camp.
Yes.
How is it with your easy runs? How easy do you go when you are?
So it's mostly about feeling, especially after the marathon. But I think you're maybe asking when I'm not in the off season what I do.
Well, yeah. So, or I would say that, like, say during the marathon block, and you can obviously talk about like the exact pace, but I feel like talking to a lot of runners, some runners are going a little bit faster than what they would consider very easy for their easy
Yeah,
runs, and some people are
I
going
think
very
most
easy.
runners are doing that because I've I've met so many guys and girls like if they haven't broke 3 hours on the marathon, but they're running 4:10s or 4:15 on the easy runs. I'm like, you're basically just running your marathon pace all the time, but you're not able to restrain it retain it for a whole marathon. Like you should probably jog a bit easier than that. I mean, if I'm feeling sluggish and tired, and I have no issue or no pride in doing 5:10 sometimes, just
Hmm.
taking it easy. Especially if I can run with somebody, I'd rather go out running 5:10s with somebody than running alone and running 4:15. But sometimes I feel on Mondays. Sometimes I have really good legs Mondays. I don't know why. So I have sometimes I run 25K in 40 on an easy day. On a Monday, I'm like, then the next day, Tuesday, I can do a good call session on the treadmill, and then Wednesday I could run a short run in the morning, maybe half an hour, 50, and then in the afternoon it would be maybe 4:30 for 12 to 15K after work. Um, but yeah, I try to squeeze in short runs in the morning just to get the body up and going, and also because I don't have the time. When I'm doing morning runs, I'm up at 5:30 to do that, and then getting something in is better than nothing. I keep telling myself that. So I then do the calculation. If I don't do the morning runs, it's probably 40 to 50 kilometers a week I miss out on, and I
Hmm.
kind of need the volume, I think, for the marathon still.
Yeah.
And then I could get a little bit stressed about doing more volume in the afternoon. I'd rather just go up early and then just do a little bit in the morning so I don't have to do as much in the afternoon.
Yeah. That's actually the
Um,
same approach that I had this spring. I realized
Yeah.
that you can it's so much easier to get the mileage up when you do that because it doesn't really feel like a run. You just go out and you get whatever you get. Like I go out with my
Yeah.
dog and I jog
Yeah.
with him because he needs to go out anyways, and then
Hmm.
just perfect, and then just usually end up getting so much more.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do also. It's also a nice way of starting the day. Then sometimes I'm actually feeling more fresh going into work after a run in the morning, even though
Mm.
it's completely dark and really awful sometimes. I think it's totally worth it. I never regretted it at all. So yeah, it's just you need to do it sometimes. And I
Yeah.
get stressed in the afternoon if I haven't done it in the morning. So it's just getting up, getting it done, getting into a rhythm where it feels a bit more enjoyable. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to enjoy the morning runs again, especially when the weather's getting a bit better, and you could probably do it in a sunrise, perhaps in January.
Exactly. What was your mileage for the Valencia block?
I think I topped 183. I think
Yeah. So pretty,
so. I
like
had
you're getting up to a pretty high mileage now then. Like obviously not
yeah.
compared
I
to
was
the ones who are running like 250 and stuff, but still pretty
yeah.
high mileage, I'd say.
I tried to keep it at least 140 during the
Yeah.
period, and then I had some blocks where I did some weeks where I was between 160s, 170s, 180. Try to keep it there for some weeks, and then started tapering towards Valencia. And I think I did a quite good job at the at tapering and downscale my training. Uh, I think that has been pretty good this time. I've been feeling fresh. Um, yeah, but I mean, it also feels weird to taper because you used to be doing a lot of training, and now I'm always getting afraid of getting some kind of sickness or
Yeah.
feel tired in my body because you're doing less, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like your body finally gets to delve into that mode where it's just taking it easy and relaxing, and then where it's get vulnerable. I think so. I'm I've been some times where I've been sick in tapering because it's like my body's just hypersensitive
Yeah.
to bacteria or anything that's yeah. I don't know. I usually getting
I think
sick.
we all can relate to that.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
nice to do the taper,
No,
especially not when you're addicted to the running.
exactly. What about strength training? Do you do a lot of that? You did mention that you used to go to the gym a lot when you were like in your teens, but how's that now?
Yeah, I try to squeeze in at least 2 sessions a week, and I will be on easy days. So it could be Monday, it could be Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes I do it in the weekends also, but mostly in the weekdays. And every time on Wednesday. That's pretty like settled. It's always
Hmm.
on Wednesday I do it, and then one time at maybe one day or Friday, depending on how I feel after the weekend. Because if I'm completely in the bins, my legs, I would not do any strength on Monday, and then I'll just wait until Wednesday and then do another one on Friday.
But
Um,
is that very then running specific strength, or is it more
yeah,
like yeah, yeah,
it's mostly running based. I do a little bit of plyometrics, but not much. And then the plan is to do some more heavier uh, weights in the new year. That's one of my New Year resolutions. To make that happen. Because I think it's a good thing to build up a lot of strength. So you don't get injured, and your running style will be better, and yeah, you can do a lot more running without feeling complete sore in your calves or quads afterwards because you're just a bit stronger than you wouldn't
Yeah.
if you haven't done the training. So yeah,
Mm.
I think it's impossible. I think it's not impossible. I think it's really important to do the strength training, to invest in that part of it, because it's a really important aspect when doing distance running, and I think a lot of people are missing out if they're not doing it. So
It's
that's
definitely good insurance, I think.
it
Insurance and
is
investment at the same time. So no,
truly is
I don't think we should neglect it. Although, kind of like you said, it's you get used to running and you love running, and especially when things are going well. You're like, oh, I don't need to do strength training now because I would rather go for a run. And then you get
yeah,
into some bad habits there. But it's
and
definitely
that's
important.
doing yourself a really bad favor, because I mean, if you like running, imagine how it would be if you're not able to run.
Exactly.
And if you
Yeah.
did your gym sessions, you would probably put in that work that wouldn't prevent you from running. And that's why I also tell myself I shouldn't. If I have good legs, sometimes I could see myself overdoing the training and going maybe all in or go for broke. And you probably shouldn't do that, because okay, you have a good session today and you can feel good about that and maybe brag to your mates about it. But is that the session that makes you tired or put you into a state of overtraining? It's just really stupid, because even though if I was not this professional one, I would still like to go for a run, and not being able to do that will not make me happy at all. Quite
Exactly.
opposite.
Yeah. Martin, we've been talking for an hour and we're getting closer to the end of our conversation. I want to thank you for everything that you shared. But last question for you is like, what are your goals going forward? Now you're a 2:13 marathoner. Do you have any plans for 2026? And what are your long-term goals?
Yeah, of course. We also look a bit more tired. You and I can see our eyes. It's just,
Yeah, we're getting tired. It's
yes,
5 p.m. long work day for both of us, I guess.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sorry for stalling you first and foremost.
No, no, no. I'm good. I was in the US 2 weeks ago and I've been struggling with a bit of a jet lag since. But
Oh
I
shit,
also feel
still.
like there's something but there's something about the light in here. I saw it too, that my eyes look
Yeah,
really tired. I don't think I hope I'm not, or I am not as tired as I look, but it doesn't really look very good
that's
right
fair.
now. So to the
um,
listeners, I'm not as tired and I'm not high.
that's totally fair. Thanks for telling us. I maybe look a bit tired,
No, you're
but I can
good.
live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back on track. So you asked me about my goals,
Yeah,
right?
your goals for 26, but also long term.
Yeah. So as I just mentioned, I agreed on another 3-year deal with Puma. So I'm gonna continue for the next 3 years. I'm still gonna do what I think is fun. So for me, that's doing the fun races, and as yeah, I can break another what's it called? Breaking news for you is that I'm also going to the US, where you just came from, um,
Mm-hmm.
in April to do
Nice.
the Boston Marathon.
Awesome. Then we need to meet
I was
up.
just yeah, that could be
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
So I just got the mail 2 days ago, or maybe three, I don't know, but and I was that my application for the elite field was
Wow.
taken in, and
Congrats. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I'm inside the men's pro elite field for Boston. So I'm really stoked about that, because that's one of the races I've always been wanted to do,
It's amazing.
and
You have so much to look
yeah,
forward to. It's such a
yeah,
good race. Yeah.
I think it would be really good for me to have that kind of course for me, and that kind of setup just seems really fun, and I love doing these special races like the majors, and especially if they have some kind of history, or if they have a different kind of
Mm-hmm.
what's it called, marathon profile, like if it's hilly or has something else to it.
You
So
need to find some hills in Denmark then.
yeah, I can find some. Where I'm living right now is actually quite hilly, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to that. So I really want to do the fun races, and not. I still want to compete with the best, and chase the really fast times, but also want to have the really nice experiences across the world with running, especially when I'm still able to join the late lead fields. That makes it a little bit more fun, I think. So I'm really looking forward to the Boston Marathon, and I'm also doing Barcelona half in the beginning of the year. I think it's in February or March. I can't really remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
think it's
probably also
mid-February.
Berlin half. Yeah, I think so. And also Berlin half, and then probably Berlin Marathon if I can get in. Then I want to chase a really fast time there.
Nice. I just had the lead coordinator of the Berlin Marathon on the podcast, so you should
Oh, you did?
hit up
Oh,
Phil
sick.
if I can
Yeah,
help you out if you need some help.
that could be sick. I would
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Let me know if I have to do something.
Yeah, we'll talk after, and I'll put you in contact with him. I'm sure he wants to help you out.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't know about the next years. I'll take one day at a time and see where I'm at tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, Martin, thank you so much for guesting the podcast. I really appreciate that, and I can't wait to follow your journey. And I hope to see you in Boston. That'll be fun.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Kristen. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Such a cool guy. Really appreciate Martin coming on. And I can't wait to hang out with him whenever we meet up. Sounds like Boston might be the next time that we'll actually meet up. Thankful for Martin for coming on, and I hope that you enjoyed this, that you learned a lot, and maybe you felt inspired to get that swag that Martin has, because he definitely has a cool look to him when he's running and he stands out, and I think that is really cool. Thank you again for listening. Enjoy the rest of the holidays. On Monday, we are at episode number 100. So that's kind of insane and crazy. And then I'm going to share with you a little bit of a recap of what has happened this year for the Marathon Podcast, but also the story of the Marathon Podcast and what you can expect going forward. Thank you for listening. Happy holidays. And I'll talk to you in the next one. You listen to the Marathon Podcast, brought to you by Wall Studio.